So you guys ready for Uber Premiere? I'm headed to Tampa right now, and I'm going to start doing Uber Premiere. I'm going to be there for a couple days. Orlando was a bust, but guess what? I found another city not too far away that's got Uber Premiere. So if you guys are ready to see what it looks like over the next couple days, I'm going to show you Uber Premiere in Tampa. So like and subscribe, guys. Let me get into this episode, start picking some people up, start making some money. So get out, make sure it's clean. So we're in Tampa, guys. I'm in Tampa. I'm crossing the bridge right now. I got to go check out a hotel, and then gonna check to see once I cross this bridge if Uber Premiere pops up. Everything should be good to go, and I'm gonna be here for the next couple days doing some Uber Premiere, show you guys what it's like. Now I'm gonna go down south probably next week, do some other stuff, Palm Beach, Miami, and then I'll be back up, switch to that Uber Black, Lyft Black, get the commercial policy, the plates, all that stuff, and then I'll be off to doing cross country. So get those little things ironed out, but I want to show you guys the Premiere first, just like I showed you, or like I told you I was going to do. If you never noticed, everything I told you I'm going to do, I do it, whether it takes a little longer. Sometimes it's more just stuff out of my control, but sometimes I just kind of try to jump the gun, and can't always do that, but hey, it's worth a shot. So I'm about to show you guys what Uber Premiere like in Tampa. So you see the Tampa, the airport shows right there, Premiere. So wait for it to kick in. Probably once I get off the Wi-Fi from the car and get into the hotel, should be eligible for Premiere. So we'll see what happens. But that's a good sign, better than Orlando, where it didn't show any of that stuff. All right, guys, this is day one Uber Premiere. It took me 2 days, 10 customer service reps, them switching me from Uber Black to Tampa to doing all this stuff, to getting a supervisor on the phone and her manually switching in there knowing, oh, you qualify. Yes, I know I qualify. It's not rocket science. But you know what? Patience, a little aggravation goes a long way to where, you know what? You finally get it done. I just knew I had to get a supervisor, but they have certain after hours now where they don't do live phone chat. They only do chat, and when they do a chat, they will never give you a supervisor. And then some of those people just claim that they are the highest level of support you're going to get, which is total BS. I don't know what they're talking about, but whatever. Finally got it done, and she literally did it. I logged out, signed back on, and then bam, I got Premiere hourly and Premiere. And guess what, guys? I'm gonna start making some money. I'm happy I was able to show you guys how this works, because one, I want to show you what it's like, what the hassle was, what you got to do, and then I also want to show you, let's compare it to what Uber Black, what I make doing Uber Black compared to what I made when I did Uber Premiere. See if it's in your city. Is it worth just keep doing it as long as you can till they either change the terms, or they get rid of the program or whatever, or you feel like you've got enough money to do Uber Black? Well, now you can see what I make compared to what I make, and you already know you can make that decision for yourself. That's what I'm here to try to do, is just show everything for you to make it your life easier. Because you know what? I got to go through some of the issues. I got to deal with the hassles. It costs me time. It costs me money. But at least you don't have to. That's the whole point. I want to teach you guys, show you guys how to do stuff correctly, how it works, and what the process is, and then what problems you might run into. Because most people, they're not going to really tell you or show you the problems. They're just going to show you all the good things. I show you everything. If it's good, if it's bad, if it's whatever, I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to show you how I had to deal with it. So that's part of the process. No reason to eliminate that. No reason to hide it. I'm just going to show everything and anything that I can. So like and subscribe, guys. Let me go get this car washed real quick. Let me go, I might try the airport first since it's right around the corner, but I'm going to get the car washed real quick, and then, hey, I'm going to turn it on and see if I can get some Premiere hourly or Superior. I'm not too far from the casino, the Seminole Hard Rock, right around the corner from the airport. So I'm in a prime location for a lot of stuff. This is the first time I have ever been to Tampa. Like, I've been here for Ybor City when I was like 18. We came seeing some DJs, Jack Will Hyde, DJ Monk, and somebody else, Rick West. We saw them back in like 2003, Friday 13th, Blood on the Turntables at the amphitheater. So yeah, old school South Florida music, break beats and stuff, DJs. I love that type of music. But in my car, played some country, because Georgia, Florida, it's a little country, it's a little bit better. It's, you know, one of the things, I'll get an episode about music later on, because it is kind of a touchy, hard thing to really kind of do. But Like and subscribe, guys. Let's get ready. Let's see what Uber Premier's like, because I'll tell you what, I know you're interested, but I'm actually really interested because I want to see what it's like. And I need some practice before I up my game to Uber Black. You know, I got to get used to getting out the car, opening the doors, getting all this stuff I got to do. So let's see what it's like, and let's see if I can make some money. I'll tell you what, I've been spending a lot of time traveling, spending money, not making no money. Now I'm ready to do it. And I still got to do 27 Lyft rides to qualify for Lyft Black once I do switch to commercial policy. So I'll have to knock some of them out. I might just go to Disney and do them at one of those areas. But like and subscribe, guys. Do appreciate it. And let me show you what Uber Premier is like. So let's get in this episode. All right, so we're about to test it out. We're going to see how Uber Black, or not Uber Black, but Uber Premier is. I'm actually going to the airport. Like right here, airport's literally right there. Just got the car washed. It was a little bit more than I thought I was going to try to spend, but being out of town, I don't have the Love car wash where I have a subscription. So, you know, being out of town doing this, one of the things going to cost me more money is washing the cars. Like, I'm not going to have a place at home where I can wash it. But being at this tier level, doing all this stuff, I'm going to have to do it. So all these little expenses kind of add up when I do this trip. And right now, I got no choice but to work in Tampa because of the fact that, I mean, it's the only place I can work that has Uber Premier besides going down to Palm Beach and going down to Miami, which I will do. But that's going to be a little bit. So right now, let's see what I make. I got on the thing right now, I got Premier Hourly, Premier, and I got Uber XL. I took Uber X off there. They tried to get me on there. Cash Trips was automatically, it automatically was on there. So I had to reset it, and it had stupid navigation, all this stuff, because I had to sign out the app and re-sign into it. So it literally, all my saved preferences were deleted, and I had to literally go back in there, because I hate when it tries to tell me where to turn. Like, that's the most annoying thing. I don't know who wants to listen to GPS tell you where to turn at. I look at it. I'm not want to listen to it, because half the time it's wrong anyways. And then, it drives me nuts. So I really don't know why somebody want to listen to turn-by-turn directions like that. But, to each his own. I'm not going to do it. So, head to the airport. I've never been to Tampa Airport. That's the good thing about this. I should be allowed to do Uber Premier at this airport, because Uber Premier does not require you to have a commercial policy. So when I do Uber Black, Lyft Black, well, the issue is going to be with that is every airport, as you're doing a black service, you have to have a permit for the airport, and that could range from $50. I think Savannah, Georgia's $50, but Atlanta, Orlando, all that's like $200, $250, and that's for a whole year though. But you might make that off of one trip, but I'm traveling, only going to be somewhere for maybe a week. So me paying that, I can't get like a temporary pass. Now I could drop off at the airport, I just can't pick up at the airport. And as you're going to see, airport's a pretty it's a pretty big deal when it comes to Uber Black, Lyft Black, Uber Premier, all that. A lot of the stuff does. But then, you got different places like New York or Miami and stuff where people take Uber Black to go out to South Beach and go here and go there. So, people got money. They don't really care. They want to pay that. They got the money to spend. They're going to pay that extra money because they want to. They want to ride like that. All right. So I'm at the Tampa airport. Now, I had already saved this for the airports. No, this is the waiting lot. It's not that big, so it's not too bad. But right now, let's see what they got. See, when you look at the graph, it shows 430. You're showing 1,000 people, right? 759. But a lot of you guys say, oh, it's not accurate. You got to go to flight details. So when I go back to 430, we got to go back a little bit. So they got 150, 320, 220. All these people just landed, right? So they're probably, those people right there are probably getting ready to get off the plane. I don't know how big this airport is when it comes to getting luggage. Then you got this one, and this one. So these people are about coming. These people are done. Those are probably ready. So you got about 440 people. Now, how many of those people are actually needing a ride? I don't know. So we'll try to see how it works. But besides that, we got to go. You got about 1,000 people. So at least they're all landed. They're not really delayed, which is a little different. because you know Jacksonville Airport, they seem to get delayed pretty good, but a lot of that stuff's coming from Atlanta, so that's probably why. These people are coming from Charlotte, Minneapolis, Baltimore, Cancun, London, so this must be an international airport. You got Cancun and stuff, so I don't see really too much of Atlanta on there. So Atlanta, you know, usually they might not have Delta, because Delta is usually a hub. So got all those people landed, still ain't got no request, but I got Premier hourly, so we'll see what happens. I'm in the waiting lot and queue is full, so it shows the queue is full. I don't know why it's not even really showing the queue though. Like, it's not even showing how many cars. It's not showing nothing. All it says is full. Click on the waiting lot, now we can see. So cars, you got Premier's full, Premier SUV, you got XL, you got double XL. I don't care about the flight. So Uber X, you got like 61 people. Yeah, you got about that many. Comfort's full, so Comfort's gonna be everybody that's down here, plus some of these people. So that's why that would be full. Uber Premier SUV is probably full just because of the fact that it might not have but so many spots. I don't know why I keep switching, but I don't care about the earnings. But that's how it is. XL is like bigger cars. I could do XL. I don't know if I want to do XL here, because if they got a lot of luggage, I got room. But if they got, I got what, 3 seats in the back, 1 in the front, that's 4. Then I got 2 seats in the back, that's 6. So you got 6, because me it's 7, but really it's only 6. But when you have people sitting in the back, and then, you know, if they all have one bag, it's probably not going to fit. So that's the issue I'm going to come into when it comes to it. So you got different colors. I don't know if it's Tampa's doing this, if Uber's maps changed, or this is a Premier and Uber Black color surge, because one, I was driving over and didn't get any ride requests, which I'm good to go. I'm at the airport. See, now I'm actually switched over to Tampa now. I'm not Jacksonville. So that's why I can work at this airport. I can work in these areas. I should get reservations, all that stuff. Now, like I said, switching from city to city is really easy. Switching states, there's a little bit more to that. And you guys will see how I do that in the future, but I'm not going to give that away now. The cities, though, they're going to tell you, oh, it could take a couple days. It's literally done before you end the chat with customer service. So I don't care if you're switching to Uber Black, it literally is done. Background check, everything is cleared ASAP, because you've already got it done. You're only switching city in the same state. States are different because they have different rules and regulations. That's the only difference between states. Cities, it doesn't matter, because you're in the same state. Only thing you have to worry about in cities is airports. Airports are different everywhere. And especially when you're doing this level and when you're doing Uber Black, it's even more complicated, because with Uber Black, every airport wants their slice of the pie, because when you're making more money, everybody else wants more money too. So that's the thing about doing it, is regardless if you're doing it through Uber or Lyft, you do your own private ride service legally, not that whole gypsy cab, oh, cancel the ride, let me take you somewhere. No, doing that, you're gonna have to pay for permits. You gotta have more expensive insurance. You've got to have all that extra stuff, which is why you make more money. But the whole end goal of that is, all right, I'm doing Uber Black. I got my own business. Now I'm building a clientele. That way you set your own rates. You're your own business. You got to pay taxes. You have to do all that stuff. But that's the goal. You don't want the middleman. You know, you want to be the man. So that's the whole point of doing all this. So do the Uber Premier. It's such a hassle, but now it's set. Now I'm just going to start making some money. It's going to be more of a waiting game. You're not literally going to be working as much, but that's good though. Less miles on the car, more money in the bank. So what does that mean? Work smarter, not harder. Now, ain't nothing against hard work, but just to work a whole lot for a little bit ain't really worth it when you can work a little bit and make a lot more. You know, smart people don't work that hard. They work smart and they make more money. So sometimes you gotta work hard, start at the bottom and work your way up, but that's how you learn. to get to when they get to that level, then you start to work smarter, and that's how you do it. The whole thing is experience. So start off with deliveries, no big deal. Let me take food, let me learn how the map works, let me learn how to deal with customers, blah blah blah. Then you start doing regular Uber. All right, let me learn how to be a cab driver. So, I never had cab driver experience, but I had customer service experience. So I did my first ride. It wasn't a Premier ride, it was actually an XL ride. I made like $12.37 off of it wasn't much, but it sent me to the airport, and as you always know, to an airport automatically is going to put you in front of people, but that's a little different. So with XL and all that, remember, I was not in the queue, it was full. So we're going to see, it says waiting for request. It does kind of still push me ahead, so it might actually get me into the waiting lot, into the queue, and then I'll sit there and wait for a ride. Because the good thing about picking up that person, I got to learn a little bit about how what areas to work in Tampa. Because see, that's the thing too. Like, I know Orlando, I know Palm Beach, I know Miami a little bit because I worked there, but I know the areas. I know Atlanta, I know Savannah, I know Jacksonville, and I know Gainesville, but I don't know Tampa. So that's part of the thing is, a lot of these places I go on this trip, I'm not going to really know, especially once I get out of Georgia. I'm not going to know these places. So I'm going to be at the mercy of GPS and local knowledge. But that's going to be the good thing is I always talk to people, hey, what's a good spot to go? Where do I do? What do I do this? So, hey, that's part of the experience, and that's part of fun of traveling. That's part of the fun of being an Uber driver. And that's one thing I want to kind of show is so many people do focus on the negative aspects of it, but what kind of job do I get paid to drive around across the country besides doing the content? But I actually getting to do a job where I'm making money not just off the content, but off making money off of doing my actual job. So that's something that I try to turn this into some type of fun experience to where it's like, hey guys, this is gonna be fun, it's gonna be a challenge, but I'm really looking forward to it. And how else can you do it unless you're a truck driver, but you're not really dropping everywhere, you're going certain locations, and that's pretty good, you're making good money. But this is a different aspect of it, so that's why I get to show you guys road trip from across the country from an Uber driver's point of view. And not even Uber anymore, Uber Black, Premier, Lyft Black, premium tier level. See how much money we can make and how hard it is to actually do it, and what cities are better than others. So we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna get in this waiting lot. Hopefully I get a ride with Premier. So far XL, but hey, I'll take XL all day except for that one terrible reservation for like $7 for half a mile. But I would have been sitting there waiting for them to do that when I just made double what I would have made, and now I'm in the airport in front of a lot of people, or should be at least in the queue. So that's why sometimes, even though it might be good, you gotta look at the time, the wait, and all that. Reservations sometimes are worth it, sometimes they're not. Just, you gotta really be careful with them. So this is the first time I ever been to Tampa. Got a lot of stuff just past like Eddie V's, Fleming's. There's all kinds of different nice little restaurants. It's not a bad area. I just never, I always get those trips from Tampa that were just like trash, like all the way from Jacksonville. And I'm like, I'm not driving for, I think the highest I ever got was like 175 for a comfort trip. Well, that's a 3.5 hour drive. And that was it. Now, Uber Premier might be worth it, but I'm not going to get a trip from Jacksonville to here for Uber Premier. So, but it's a nice little area. Got Texas, Brazil over there. Got all these little restaurants. It's definitely, the only time I literally ever been here was Ybor City. That was in like 2004 or 5. I was like 18. Me and a buddy came one night. We stayed with my sister in Orlando, and then came here, and then drove back all the way to Georgia, to Brunswick, Georgia, at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And when we got out the club, and we ended up running out of gas right there before the last exit with a gas station in like past Sanford, I forget what that area is, but right before you get to Daytona. And there was literally, we ran out of gas at the gas station and they weren't open, so we slept for like an hour or two, and then got up and put gas in the car and drove back. We were young and dumb. I mean, we weren't drunk or nothing, but we were just young and dumb, and I don't know why we just didn't go back to my sister's house and stay with her. But young and dumb, stupid. Oh, we can make it. It's only like 6 hour drive, and we ran out of gas because we weren't paying attention. I wasn't even driving. My buddy was driving. He didn't even like, I fell asleep or something, and he like didn't pay attention to the gas. And this was back when gas was like $1.50. Like, gas was cheap back then, and we were driving, and it was like a Chevy 1500 or whatever, like a 96. It was a great car. We drove that thing for, you'd have thought I was doing Uber back then. We were driving all the way to Savannah all the time and all kinds of stuff. Like, we were just, it was craziness. Ended up blowing the engine in that car. It wasn't no oil or nothing. It was just car just old, whatever. But yeah, we were trying to make it back from Tampa to Brunswick. That's a long drive. If you live in Jacksonville, you know how far Tampa is. You know how far Brunswick is. Yeah, it was late at night. There wasn't as much traffic, but it was stupid. I don't know why we didn't go back. My sister's like, yeah, come back by the house, stay if you need to. Because we didn't have a hotel. We didn't have nothing. We were supposed to go. We met some people. We were going to hang out with them. And then I don't know if they were just like drunk or something and didn't flag us down, or I don't even know what happened. I was so tired, and I ended up falling asleep, and he drove and we ran out of gas. But we ran out of gas at the gas station. But long time ago, when you're young and dumb, you got so many stories. But Tampa ain't too bad. So now I'm starting to get towards the Surge area. I did have a reservation for XL, but it was like $6. I'm like, all right. So yesterday I did 4 Uber Premier rides. Now they were about $12 to about $9, but they paid $3 a mile. So that's a huge difference of what the pay is. But the problem is there's not so many of them. So now today, what I'm gonna try to figure out, I'm gonna leave on Premier hourly. I didn't get any of those. I might try to hit the airport. I'm not sure, because Tampa's airport's like going to Jacksonville. It's got around the same amount of people. It's about the same size, but the queue seems to always be full. Seems like everybody here literally wants to sit at the airport and hang out, which I still don't understand that, because you're not making any money. The rides aren't that good. Premier, the rides might be better. If you got a reservation, yeah, I understand. But if you don't, what is the point of sitting there hanging out? I'm not getting out of my car unless I'm opening a door for somebody or I'm going in somewhere. Like, I'm not going to be sitting there hanging out, playing on the phone, doing this. If I got a reservation, I would do it. But besides that, I still don't understand why people want to sit at the airport and then want to complain about the prices. It's like, drive around, you can make money. The whole point of making money to an Uber is being mobile, being moving, having somebody in your car while you're driving. That is how you make money. You'll make no money no other way, unless you're doing deliveries. Then you got to have food in your car. But one way or the other, you got to have food. You got to have people in your vehicle to make money. And if you're empty, if you're waiting without a reservation, then what's the point of doing it? Like, oh, I might get it, especially if the queue's full, especially if there's 100 people in line. At least Jacksonville, you might have like 30 or 40 people ahead of you. It goes quick. But even Premier, you're not getting that many rides, so it's not really worth it. So really, I don't know. I'm gonna see how it's gonna work today. I might do some XL. I might do some of that stuff. I just gotta go vacuum this car out because it's raining or wet. But once I do all that, it's 12 o'clock. I started early because doing late night just wasn't that busy. But Fridays sometimes they're hit or miss anyways, and that's in Jacksonville, so any city's gonna be about the same. So we'll just have to see how it is and try to make some money. I might have to just start doing like Comfort, Premier, XL, and then when the Comfort comes in, just kind of nitpick whichever one's like same old strategy. If it's good, take it. If it's not, don't worry about it. And then work on getting the commercial policy. I got all that in motion. I'm just waiting. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a minute. They got to write a policy. You got to do all this stuff. So that's going to take a minute to do it. So until then, I just try to work and make what I can. But I mean, I might try down Palm Beach, try to do Premier down there. Premier probably be better down there. Miami, I don't know. I think Miami could possibly be about the same. It might be busier though, because there is a little bit more money down there. And Premier, more people are going to use it that got money, just because they just want to, you know, same reason they use black. They got the money, they want it. They want that luxury. They want that status. That's how they do it. That's the whole point. So we'll see how it is. I mean, once I get Uber Black, I'll probably go to Orlando and work for a little bit. I'm still gonna be able to do the airport because you gotta pay like $250. I'm not gonna pay it unless I'm gonna stay there. So get out, make sure it's clean.